Welcome to Defy Logic, where we hear about and talk about people who dare to overcome life's most challenging obstacles. I'm Bryant Lee, and I'll be your guide on this journey. So hang tight while we inspire you, challenge you, and dare you to defy logic.
I grew up in public housing, raised by my granny because my mom was 16 and my dad didn't stick around. When my mom decided she was old enough to be a mom, she couldn't ask my granny to just pack my things and let me go. So one sunny Saturday morning, she walked into my granny's house, pulled me by the hand, and asked me to run. I tried to explain I had no shoes, I had no overnight bag, but we ran anyways. We sped off in a car with my stepdad being the getaway driver. My grandma called the police. The police came to my stepdad's home, but there was nothing they could do. I cried and I cried. For a week I cried, but my mom made it clear it didn't matter how much I cried. This was my new home. I was living with her, her husband, and his 3 teenage daughters. And I never lived with my granny again. I stayed at my aunt's house most weekends playing with my cousins. My mom said I needed to play with kids my own age. I didn't know that would later become my permanent home. I didn't know the real reason I was visiting my cousins every weekend was because my mom was being physically abused each weekend by her husband. When she couldn't take it anymore, she bought a gun, and during their next altercation, she shot him. She called the paramedics and performed CPR until the paramedics arrived. She called to tell me she was in big trouble and I would have to stay with my aunt for a while. Although my stepdad didn't press charges, the state of Florida did, and she was incarcerated. For 3 years, she served her time, and I grew into a rebellious, bitter, and angry teenager. I hated her. I hated her for taking me away from my granny. I hated her for not walking away from him. I hated her because now I had no granny, no mama, and no daddy. Despite my aunt's love and attention, I was determined to wreak havoc on myself. The only bright light in my life was teaching my young cousins after school. I became their teacher. I taught the alphabet, writing skills, letter sounds. I read to them daily. I knew I was good at this, and I wanted to be a teacher. My anger at the world kept me from focusing. I went from being an only child at my granny's house to being an annoying younger sister of 3 stepsisters at my stepfather's house, and then the oldest of 3 sisters at my aunt's house. I spent the first couple of years of high school just going through the motions, not really motivated, not really trying, just getting by. By my junior year, my advisor told my mom if I didn't finish out the next couple of years focused, I wouldn't graduate on time. My mom got involved. She helped out. She helped with homework, she checked in, and I got focused. I tried a little harder, and then I excelled, but my rebellious ways finally caught up with me. I was pregnant. It was my senior year, and while most parents and teens were preparing for homecoming, prom, and graduation, no, I was preparing for a baby, doctor's appointments, prenatal vitamins, and public assistance. I gave birth a month before my graduation. I was able to walk across the stage and greet my mom and my baby. I thought I was headed for college. Unfortunately, I was not prepared for the reality of work and school and being a single parent. My community college career was over after 1 semester. My teaching career would have to wait. When I met my husband, I expressed my desire to go to school and teach. He was not very supportive. He believed I should focus on our new growing family. I loved him and I loved my family, but I knew I was destined for more. I went back and signed up for school anyways, and after being incorrectly advised by the advisor of the school and taking some summer classes that my financial aid wouldn't pay for, I owed money to this private school that I could not afford to pay back. And again, I dropped out of college. I opened a family child care in my home. My husband and I would care for our own children, children of family members, and some children from our community. I was finally teaching. After 3 years, I closed our home business and I began to teach in early child care centers. Again, I excelled. I wanted to know everything there was to know about teaching young children. I wanted to go back to school and study early childhood education. But tragedy struck. My mom and I had struggled and worked so hard on our relationship to heal wounds from the past, to enjoy her grandchildren together, but she was dying. She had lung cancer, and there was nothing the doctors could do. After she lost her battle, I was even more determined to finish college. I went back to school again. My 4 daughters were older. I had lost my granny, I had lost my auntie, and I had lost my mom. But I had not lost the love they had for me. I had not lost the faith they instilled in me. I had not lost how they had poured into me so that I can pour into others. After taking some long drives to Daytona State to pursue a photography degree, I switched majors, completed my AA in General Studies, and applied to the prestigious University of Central Florida. And I was accepted. With all my children grown up and my husband cheering me on finally, I had more time to study, more time to focus, more time to learn. And I did. I was always one of the older students in my class, but I relied on my years of experience to help me conquer difficult assignments. I had constantly faced my own fears and my own insecurities. When times were tough, I remembered the women who put in the work for me to be the woman that I am. I worked harder. In December of 2023, 7 months before my 50th birthday, I received my bachelor's degree in early childhood education from the University of Central Florida. I am a wife. I am a grandma. I am a tutor. I'm an early childhood educator. I'm a children's book author. I am a teacher that lays the foundation for academic success. And I am a college graduate. My name is Myra Lee. What's your Goliath? Change your thinking. Change yourself. Change your world. Defy logic.
Have a story about overcoming a Goliath by changing your thinking, yourself, and your world? We want to hear from you. Let your story motivate others to face their Goliaths and defy logic.